So already you guys a minute ago loaded the sticky in Notability, so I'm going to add that same sticky note. So give me a second. It's going to look slightly different. Just make this slightly smaller. Hang on one second. Okay, so this is what you guys are seeing, but in Notability instead. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through this together. So please stay with me. Don't jump ahead for the sake of this first one. Okay, we'll go through it together. And then once we do the first one, which is part A, I'll give you a little more free reign to work with people around you and start going through the other ones. So here's what we're doing today is this. We are taking a three-dimensional solid, like we talked about last class, and we're trying to draw it in three different views. One of those views is very, very specific, and it is called the top view. If you remember, I called it the bird's eye view, or the aerial view, any of those words. Well, for this circumstance, or this box full of mice or mouses, I don't know if you're plural mouses or mice, but from the top, looking above, what shape do you see? You look from above. What shape is this?
Rectangle.
A rectangle. Okay, from above. It is absolutely 100% a rectangle from above. From the front or side, you can call either one front or side. What shape do you see from the front or side?
Rectangle.
Also a rectangle, right? Now, from the other one, what do you see specifically?
It's like a cutout of a rectangle and there's like everything else around it.
Very good. So we have a major rectangle and then a rectangle removed. So what we're doing here is we're doing exactly what we saw that first day. Okay, where the slideshow went through, kind of stepped you through it one at a time, but we're going to draft it ourselves today. The first two of these examples you'll notice are color-coded. After that, I stopped using the colors. You can use colors if you want, if it helps, okay, but you don't need them necessarily. But if it helps in the beginning, add some colors to the ones that are not colored in. Now, before we begin this, we need to use common sense. Common sense. So, first, 35 is the length here. Everybody see where I'm pointing to? Actually, I have a point on my iPad now in this program. This is a length of 35 right here. So am I going to go 35 boxes across and draw that line across? Is that logical? Probably not, right? That's why I said use common sense here. What do you think I should use as my factor, maybe? Or scale is the word for it, right? With maps? What do you think, Olivia?
Each box can be 5.
That sounds great. Each box can be 5 units, and I agree with that statement. You could go 10. You could do anything that works with these numbers. 10 gets a little bit messy because then we get 2.5, 1.5. Sometimes, though, we might have to use a scale factor of 10, and our numbers are going to reduce to decimals. But for now, I agree with Olivia. Let's make each box worth 5 units. So let's write that down somewhere. So remember, without your scale, nothing you draw is valid. I understand what you mean if you drew it without the scale listed, but you need to list your scale. 1 box on my grid is equivalent to 5 units. What do I mean by units? Well, I'm talking about these dimensions. And why do I put the word units there?
Because there's no given, I can't remember what the word is, but
Units.
value for
Yeah.
the,
It's not saying what? It's not saying, for example, 35 inches or centimeters or miles or feet or meters or light years, whatever length of distance you want to use, it's not here. So instead, we say that it's 5 units of length. So whenever you're not given units, you use the word units. So in this problem, let's go ahead and relabel all of these dimensions, please. Relabel all those dimensions based on how many boxes they should be. I'll use another color for that. I'll use green. Why is that 7 boxes? Why don't I put a 7 right here? Why 7, Kai?
Because 35 divided by 7 is 5.
Yeah, and in this case, 35 divided by 5 is 7, yes. So let's divide each of our lengths by 5, because 5 is our scale factor. 5 is our scale factor. So go ahead and divide everything by 5 and put that number next to it. Okay, Okay? So I've got all my numbers labeled. But I don't have every length in this diagram labeled right now. For example, take a look please to see this. What is this length right here? What is that length right there? It's not labeled on my diagram anywhere. Try to figure it out. What is this length right here? What are you thinking, Clark? How come, Clark? Where's the 10 coming from?
Half of the 20 that's on the other side.
Ooh, so you estimated that by doing that. That's okay. And you're right, Clark. So you have good estimation skills. So it is 10. But we need a more valid reason, actually. There's a more valid reason. Do you want to take another stab at it if you look at other parts of the diagram? Because you're right by saying 10. How about he phones a friend? What do you think, Carlos?
There's a length of 15.
Right here is 15, okay, which makes this 15. I agree.
And the whole thing is 25.
And that whole thing is 25.
25 minus 15 is 20.
So let's take a look again. This is 25. We know this is 15 because this is 15. So maybe we should label this 15, right? I'm going to use the red color so it's the same as what's on the diagram. So that's 15 right there, which means this must be 10 right there. So Clark, your estimation skills are spot on. 10 is right. So this is a height of 10 right there. So if I labeled in box numbers, we know that that's going to be 2 boxes and 3 boxes. And I'm using green for box numbers. I'm using red for actual lengths. I'm specifically using colors that correspond. So every time I'm talking about the amount of grid lines or boxes, I look for the labels or the labels in green. The ones in red help me, but the ones in green are what I'm going to use for my actual sketch in a moment. What other lengths might I still need? What other lengths might I still need? I'll tell you.
Top, small red.
Yeah, like what about like maybe this right here or this right here, right? We need both of those still, right? Which one do you want to give me? You want to give me this one? I'll call this number 1 or this number 2?
What?
This one here, number 1, or this one here, number 2?
Number 1.
Okay, so Altea's going to give us this length. What do you think it is, Altea?
It's going to be 2 in the revised, 2 units in the, with the ratio thing.
So 2 boxes.
2 boxes.
So what's the actual length then?
It's going to be 10 units.
Let's see if that's right. She's saying this is 10, which converts to 2 boxes. All right, let's see. Let's make logical sense of it. This is 25. Why is this 10 then? Somebody that's not Altea.
Because on the bottom.
Stefan,
it
right?
says-
Stefan?
yeah.
Stefan, sorry.
And on the bottom it says 35, and 35 minus 25 is equal to 10.
Okay, so take a look if that didn't make sense. This base is 35. This is 25. Well, if this is 35, this whole thing has to be 35 also. So 25 plus 10 here, these two sum together give us 35. Very good. And the last part that Altea was just mentioning, somebody else? Last part there, what will this height, Kai, be?
That height would be 24. That's 20. And then it's about half that. And it's 20 minus 10, so 10.
Very good. So Kai saw this was 20 here. Take a look where I'm circling. That's 20, which is this height right here. And this is 10 right here. So that means that this has to also be 10. 10 and 10 gives us 20. By the way, it is nice to be using estimations when you look at it, but when things are in 3 dimensions, sometimes perspectives might seem like the number is larger or smaller than they actually are. So be careful. Be very careful when it comes to that. So yeah, so this is going to be 10 right here, which scaled down is 2 boxes. Okay? Let me maybe zoom in on this a little bit so it's a bit easier for some of you to see. Okay? So we just labeled this right here, which was 10. Does anything else need a label at this point? Are there any other distances or lengths that are not actually shown here? Yeah, what else?
The other side of the rectangle on the top.
Where at?
The top
This right here?
one, yeah.
So this one right here is needed because this is needed and because this is given. So we're missing, look, take a look here. Either you can call it this length, you can call it this length, or this length. They're all the same. These are all for the same. Very good. So what is that missing length? What do we get for that, neighbor?
15.
Why 15, neighbor?
Because 30, I don't really
Which is the full depth. Got it.
Yeah, that's 30, and then half of it, or like one side is 15.
Good. Right here.
30 minus 15 is 15.
Yeah, so look, if this is 15, follow us. If this is 15, well, then this must be 15. If this is 15 and this entire thing is 30, 30 minus off that 15 must leave 15 behind. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yep.
For other things, would we have to repeat the original units, or can we just put the boxes?
I would probably say you could jump to the boxes at that point if you're comfortable. I'm putting the originals here just so we have them, but yeah, you could probably just put the box lengths themselves. Does that make sense what Altea is asking? She's saying, do we have to put the 10 and the 15 every time? Or can't we just put like the 2 or the 3, however many boxes? Yeah, the number of boxes is probably sufficient at this point. Notice what else I'm doing right now? Look what I'm doing if it's not clear. I'm putting in a bunch of arrows. Okay, so I can see what those lengths actually are. Okay, so this is 10, 15, 10, 10, 15. All with the corresponding box unit lengths. All right, questions so far? Any questions so far? Do we all understand, or do we see why we need those lengths? How come we need all those lengths? What are we about to do? What did we do last class, or what did you guys see a couple classes ago? What did you see that would help you? Yeah, Max.
We would just put it onto the grid, so using those measurements as boxes, that's why we have a grid, so we can just convert it easy.
Very good, Max. We're going to have to put this on the grid, so we need all those measurements. Even the ones that we're missing, we're going to need them as well. So how do we do this now? For the first one, again, I want you to do it with me, and then after we get through the first one, I'll let you jump ahead and go way ahead and do it yourself. But trust me for now, and just wait a little while before you jump ahead on your own. So my recommendation is the following. I always start with the top view. Always. And the top view is what you're seeing as the red shaded in faces. So see the 3 red faces? 1, 2, 3. Those are what we call the top view. And the way I look at it is as follows. Take a look at where I'm standing right now in the room. Okay? I imagine again that I'm a bird and I'm looking from above. And I think of this as the left side of the top view and this as the right side. So I'm looking down on this image from here. My left eye is here, my right eye is here. So my head is tilted like this and I'm looking down on it. So this is how I'm looking at the top view right now. So when I draw the top view, I'm going to start with the word top. And when I draw the top view, I'm going to want to consider how many box lengths I have to go. So if I start here and I recognize, look, how far is this across? How far is that across? Well, that's a length of 7 units from here all the way to here. Well, that's this from here right to here. We need to recognize that. This is 7, this is also 7. So this is a length of 7, so I'm probably going to start here and go over 7 units. And that's going to be this one. But I want to make sure I have enough room in this dimension. What is this dimension going to be? This is 6 boxes. So this is going to be like my height here of 6 boxes. So if I'm going to start here, I got to go down at least 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to start at this line. So I'm going to start right here in this corner where I'm pointing. Okay, that's where I'm going to start my line for now. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more. Now on your screen, you're going to see a nice straight line, and it should snap to the intersection. I loaded this in another program so I could record this viewing, so I can't do that right now. So if I was doing this in Notability with you, it would snap to be a perfect horizontal line. So you should see something that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes, starting and ending right on the grid line intersection. And again, I'm going to highlight that in yellow. This is what I just drew. For those who are confused a little bit, that's what I just drew. That yellow line right here is that blue line on the grid. I'm then going to move on. I'm going to say, and watch what I'll do. I'm going to use yellow again, so watch this image, please. Take a look at the actual 3D solid. I'm next going to draw this. This length right here, which is 3 boxes. I know that because if this is 3 boxes, it's because this is 3 boxes. This length is the same as this length. So I'm then going to go 3 boxes up. I'm then going to go to the next one, which is this new one in yellow I'm drawing now. And that's going to be, again, another 3 boxes here because this is 3 boxes over here. If this is 3 boxes, so is this, so is this, so is this. So I'm going to go 3 more boxes up. And I'm going to stop there. So far I've drawn what's highlighted in yellow. This is one continuous line. This looks like 2 segments, right? Take a look. See these 2 segments in yellow here? But when you look at this from above, it doesn't look like 2 segments. It looks like one continuous line along the right. But I know already that there's going to be some sort of a line jutting in here. I haven't drawn the rest of it yet. But I know there's going to be a separation there for sure. Because looking from above, I see 3 red rectangles. So I need to show those 3 red rectangles. How far across should I go with the line that I just started right here? How far across should I go? Should I go part way, 3/4 of the way, the whole way across? What do you think, Emily? 5 boxes. Why are you saying 5 boxes, Emily? So Emily is seeing this length of 5 boxes right here. So she's like, let's go 5 boxes across. I'll start with that. I'll take that for now, Emily. I agree. We can start by going 5 boxes across. Okay, there we go. I like that. That sounds good. So I've got in yellow what's in blue. Remember, I'm doing what's in yellow in blue. What else? What should I do next? What should I do next? Got some more lines to draw. Katie.
2 more boxes.
Yeah, keep going 2 more boxes. So Emily was right by saying, yeah, 5 boxes is this length. But notice what Katie's saying. Katie's saying this. Well, you know what? If we're looking from above, this is another 2 boxes right here. Right? Look at that where I'm circling. That's a length of 2 boxes, so this must also be. So let me use yellow first to highlight it. So now I'm looking at that line, and that's another 2 boxes over, really. But what do I know? I know that I'm going to have some sort of a line jutting out right here. And that's right there. So draw yourself like a little marking right there to know that this is going to cut in. Okay, so this is definitely going to cut in. And that's where Emily was getting the number of 5, right? 5, and then Katie said, oh, 2 more still, actually. Very good. How do I finish this off? Or how do I continue the way, I should say? Because I guess I'm not at the last step, but I'm almost at the last step here. Give me another step along the way. What do you think? What do you think? Yeah?
You draw
Then
it
on
in
the side.
3 box by 2 box
The-
at the corner.
Yeah, so look, she's seeing this here. This is a rectangle, 3 by 2, right? So let's finish off this rectangle on the top left corner as a 3 by 2. So here, let's draw this rectangle. So I'm going to use yellow again. I'm going to say that, and that. And you're right, look, this is 3 by 2. I agree, that's the upper left rectangle. Up here is that rectangle up there. What else? What else? I got a couple more lines to draw. I want to know where they correspond to. What should they be? I'll tell you.
Connect the lines to that rectangle to close the figure.
Yeah, connect lines to that rectangle to close the figure. So let's see, we've got this one here. I'm going to draw in yellow again. So over here on the left side, this right there is going to be this right here. So let's go ahead and draw that in blue. And then the last part is this back edge. This very back edge here. And that very back edge is right there. So we've got the top view complete. We've got the top view complete. So again, what we're doing is we're taking this isometric 3-dimensional view and drawing 3 different orthographic perspective views. We only have the top done though. Only have the top done. I want to call the next one, what did I call in the other class to be consistent? Hold on. Did I call the next one side in the other class? What did I call it? We called the other one, of course it's not there. Okay, we went to side next as our term. So let's call this next one the side view. And then this will be front view over here. Now, the side view might look easy. By the way, what color is the side view in this case? What color are we looking at from the side view if we want things to line up with our top view?
Would be the blue.
It would be the blue. So we're coming in this way. Remember, how did we look at the top just now? We looked at the top like this. This was the top. This was the left side of the top view. That was the right side of the top view. So I need to take this. Watch my hands, please. And I need to go like this. And line them up like that. So when I come down like this side view is really this here and this side over here. So the blue is going to be the side view, and then the front view is going to be the green.
Does it super matter?
It really doesn't matter actually that much, but I think this way is a lot easier, and you're going to see with other figures later that it is a bit easier to do it this way. So I would recommend it, but it doesn't really matter as long as you're consistent. The key that actually does matter, though, I'll tell you, is that things are lined up properly. For example, the top view should line up with the side view where we have some changes in the shape. So, what is the width here of the base of the side view? What is this width here of the base? 7 boxes. So again, I'm talking about this right here. This width of the side view is indeed 7 boxes. But if I drew 7 boxes in an arbitrary location, it doesn't line up. So this is not correct, what I'm about to do. What I'm about to do is not correct. Like, why not just draw 7 boxes like this? 7 boxes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are 7 boxes. That looks great to me. Carlos, tell me what's wrong about that.
That's in the top view.
No, not even top view. It's just, why is this wrong? It's still 7 boxes. The top view is also 7 boxes.
It's not like under it.
It should line up. The left side from the top view should start here. Well, then the side view should start here. The right side of the top view ended here. So it should end here. So this entire line should be shifted over to here. So I should line up. So if you need to, draw dotted lines straight down. You hear what I'm saying? If you need to, draw yourself some dotted lines from the side straight down. Are we focusing back there? Yeah? Okay. So make sure to put the dotted line straight down if it helps. So maybe something like this, just to show where it's going to line up. So it's definitely going to be 7 units along the base, and there's my first line from the side view. And what did I just draw? I'm going to highlight it again in yellow. I just drew in this line right here at the bottom. Okay, so I'll use the cursor so you can see it later. This right here is this right here. Okay, so far so good? Give me some more directions. And I want to hear words like vertical, starting from the left, starting from the right endpoint. Use your geometry words, please. Use your vocabulary from geometry. So what should the next line look like? And give me the correct instructions on how to draw that line.
Make a vertical line using 3 units off the right side.
Very good. Well explained. A vertical line 3 units up from the, well, I'm going to use endpoint, from the right endpoint. 3 units up. So let's take a look. 1, 2, 3. And what does that correspond to in this diagram? Tell me in the 3-dimensional diagram what the line was that Olivia just told us about. Kai, what do you think?
The 15 to the, like right on the corner.
Yeah, right on the starting point, SP, starting point. Right from the starting point upward, that 15 unit length. So that's what Olivia is referring to right here. That right there is that right there. So I'm going to highlight it in yellow again. And there it is in yellow. By the end of this, what's going to happen is every single edge is going to have a yellow highlighting on it, right? Because we're going to go one step at a time. What else? Give me the next one. Give me another line. And there's many ways to go with this. There's not just one right answer. So you can tell me which line you want to choose next. It doesn't matter. Bronwyn, go for it.
Moving 3 up on the left side, the vertical line.
Good. Vertical line starting on the left side, so she means the left endpoint. So starting on the left endpoint, a vertical line, how many boxes up? 3 boxes up. And that's this right here. Okay, that's going to represent that rectangle. So we're trying to draw this front rectangle first. Now here, I have a question for you guys. Question. It looks like we already drew this line because it's highlighted yellow, but it's not here. Right? Again, look, this is highlighted yellow as if we already drew the line. I've been highlighting everything yellow if we already drew that line. But I don't see that line here, and yet I highlighted this yellow. Where did this yellow highlighting come from? Where did it come from, Clark? The top view. When we did the top view, remember this line, take a look right here, was this line right here. Those were the same things. So what do we notice? If an edge is shared between two views, it will end up being drawn twice. So again, to make that clear, this length right here is really this length right here. But that length right there is the same as this right here. So this is when we look at this shape from the front, and there's the top of it. That's that. But this is when we look at this shape from the top, and that's the front of it right there. So it still is the same length, though. 7 across. Okay, 7 across. So what have we drawn? We've drawn this front blue rectangle. Now, we've got that other funky looking shape that's in blue, right? What kind of a shape is that? What shape is that? And I'll accept multiple answers. I'll accept multiple answers. Yeah.
It's an
What?
An
An L, that works. See the L shape right here? What other answers could you have given me?
Hexagon.
What kind of hexagon?
Irregular.
Irregular, more specific.
Right hexagon.
Keep going, Riley, come on. There's another word that you learn in geometry specifically. I thought you had it, Riley. You got like 4 of the vocab words. What's the last one? Most regular polygons are this type of polygon, whereas this one is not.
Is it an isosceles?
Not isosceles.
It's not convex.
A what?
Or it's not convex.
It's a non-convex polygon. Remember, convex. Convex were shapes like this, right? But something that is concave is a polygon that looks like this. Right? Where there's this inside. So anyway, I'm just getting vocab for geometry, challenging you guys. It is an L, which is fine, or a concave hexagon that is not a regular hexagon. Either way, we see that we're missing this right here. Now, with that said, what lengths are we going to draw in? What lengths are we going to draw in? And where are we going to draw them from? Give me good directions here. I want good explanations here. Carlos, go ahead.
4 units, going up, starting farthest to the left.
So starting farthest left here. So start over. Starting at the
4th unit to the left.
So why don't you use more descriptive nature of words? 4th unit to the left? Maybe lower left, upper right?
Left.
Okay, so starting at the upper
Starting
left,
at the upper left.
Okay.
4 units up.
draw a line 4 units up. Is that clear? Starting at the upper left part of the rectangle you currently have. So I'll point to it on here. So starting right here, draw a line 1, 2, 3, 4 units up. And that's representing right here. This is what Carlos is talking about right here. 4 units up. I would agree with Carlos on this. We're going to run into our word side. I know that, so just ignore it for now. Maybe just move up the word side a little bit. You guys could easily move it up in notability. I might have some trouble, so bear with me here. I don't know why this program does this. I can't move it up. You got to be kidding me. This is really slapdash of me. This is not good work, but I can't erase it. Sometimes this program, when I move back and forth from the pointer to drawing, it no longer enables you to erase the thing you have there. So just please, I just crossed it off. It's not really there. Again, this is the side view. Okay. So 4 units up, as Carlos said. I agree. Then, what's my next step? Give me good directions. Emily.
Starting in the upper left, go towards the right side of the 2 boxes.
Very good. Very good. And what kind of a line I'm going to make? More specifically, what kind of a line? Which one? Straight line or a horizontal line. Remember, all lines are straight. There's no such thing as a line that is not straight. Because then what do we call it? A squiggly line, no. In math, after line comes
Arc.
arc, works. More general term, anybody? A curve. Instead of a line, it becomes a curve. So when you hear the word line and you use a descriptor as a straight line, your math teacher is going to say all lines are straight, yes. So a horizontal line, as Emily said, from the upper left corner, 2 boxes over. Okay, 2 boxes over. And what does that represent? Oh, you know what? We already did this. Sorry, I should shade this in because we just did it. It represents a line that we already highlighted right there. Look where I'm pointing to. That's already highlighted because we drew it. It was right here. Look at the top view where I'm highlighting. We drew the top view line and that was that. Well, this is a shared edge. This edge is an edge for this face and for this face. So because it's an edge for both faces, it's already highlighted, but that's it right there. Very good, Emily. What else we got? What else we got? Somebody else that hasn't maybe given as many answers today. Somebody else. What can we do? And again, there are multiple answers at this point. You don't have to start where Emily left off. It's the fun. But you can.
From the top right.
From the top right. So here,
Top
okay?
right of the rectangle, you could draw a line 2 units upward.
Good.
Yeah.
So 2 units upward in the vertical direction. I like it. 2 units upward. Why 2 units, Stefan?
Because it's on like the drawing, I guess. It's 10 and then 10 divided by 5 is 2.
Very good. This is a length of 10 right here. Stefan is talking about what I'm highlighting right here. So let's go 2 boxes up to represent that 10. I'm going to highlight it in yellow to show it on the diagram. We're done with it. And then again, this is 2 boxes up. Agreed with Stefan there. Very good. Yeah. Next thing. Hold on one second. So we've got these 2 up here. We've got those 2 up there. We're seeing it all come together. We're seeing it all form now. I have 2 options for directions to be given. 2 options for directions. Julian, help me out.
Okay, so from the line you just drew in the top right,
Okay.
you're going to go 5 to the left.
5 to the left. How come, Julian?
Because in the diagram, there are 25 units
Very good.
on that side, which turns to 5.
So this is what Julian is referring to right here, the 25 across, which is 5 units in boxes, or 5 box lengths. And I saw Mary's hand. Yep, good.
So, from the left endpoint, you draw a vertical line down to the
Very good. So from the, wait, down or up?
down.
So starting here, Mary?
Yep.
Okay. So from the right endpoint, draw a vertical line down to this left endpoint. I think you switched up left and right. Yeah? So starting at this right endpoint of the top line, draw a vertical line downward to the left endpoint of this line right here. So connect your last 2 lines pretty much where it's open. Okay, and there's that L shape that we saw. Yeah?
Wouldn't it be much easier to delete the highlights from the different figures once you finish drawing?
Yeah, you could definitely do that. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm just kind of going one at a time, but that's a really good point. You hear what Althea just said? She said after you highlight the edge from all the top views, maybe unhighlight them. So like I can't do it with this program. But delete see all these yellow lines that are currently highlighted? Maybe it's worthwhile just erasing all of them now, so when you look from the other view, they're not already there. It's a really good point, Althea. Very good. All right, how about the front view now? How about the front view? And I'm going to have to move this up again, unfortunately. It's annoying. On yours, again, in Notability, it's a lot easier than in this program, but I wanted to be able to record this. How about the front view? What do you think? I need a starting point, right? I need a starting point. Katie, go for it.
A vertical line is like 6 units long.
Careful. What kind of line?
A horizontal line.
Horizontal line. I agree. So we need a horizontal line 6 units in length. Where is Katie seeing this? Where is she seeing a horizontal line 6 units in length, Kai?
She's seeing it, it's connected to the starting point and then it goes drawing right.
Very good, Kai. Well done. Good explanation. Starting at the starting point, going back to the right. So Katie is referring to this length right here of 6. Now, where should I put that line? Can I just put that line here? Is that good? I'm seeing nods like no, or not nods, shaking the head like no, right? Can't do that. It's not logical. Where should my line length of 6 be, Max?
It should be down at the very bottom.
Why, Max?
Because when you did the other side, when you started with the basic 7, that's where it's correlating, so you have to go on the opposite side.
So Max is referring to the side view, which is here, which is this, and this are on the same plane. They're on the same plane, so this line should be 6 units in length somewhere along the bottom here. So I agree with Max. Very good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is ugly. Sorry. I'm doing my best, guys. You guys, your snaps is nice. I'm also going to have you guys practice with rulers and pencils to do this. Because when you're on a grid line with a ruler, it could take a little bit longer. And then your quiz is definitely going to be on paper when you have a quiz on this adventure. It's not going to be on the iPads. Anybody with an iPad can cheat easily, right? You never get a quiz on an iPad. So we go over 6 boxes in length here, 6 boxes. After that, what do? And let me highlight that on my diagram now in yellow. That's already highlighted. There it is. Okay. What's next? Klein, go for it.
On the right, you want to go 5 units up.
So from the right end point, good. Go 5 units up. So Klein is referring to this height in the back at 25 as a height. So Klein's saying, well, this is 5 units up right here, so let's go 5 boxes up. And I would agree with you, Klein. That sounds about right. Okay, there's 5 units up. Let me highlight it on the diagram. And there it is on the diagram, highlighted. Good, Klein, you're good. Okay, what else? What else? We've got the beginning of this green, bigger shape. This concave hexagon, or this L green shape here. Morris?
From the right endpoint,
Good.
go 3 boxes to the left.
So 3 boxes in from the right endpoint. Let's see if that's correct. Well, we've got this length is 15 right here in the diagram, which makes this 15, which makes this 15, which also makes this 15. And it's already shaded because it was a shared edge from the top view. I agree. This looks great so far. So we've got, ready? 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. Those 3 edges. Nicely done so far. Nicely done. God bless. God bless. All right, we got a couple lines left. I'm trying to see if there's anyone that hasn't volunteered yet today that could help us out with another line. We still have a couple lines left to go here. Go ahead, Ron. You can go for this one. I know you want to read.
From the left endpoint on the top, it's go down to,
Go down 2. Why 2, Bronwyn?
because the 10, like on the bottom of the thing, there's like 10, there's 2 boxes.
Very good. This 10 right here that she's referring to is 2 box lengths. So let's come down 2 lengths to represent these 2 right here. All right, almost there, almost there. And again, by the way, when you're doing this on your own in a little while, you're not going to take nearly as long for one. Like we've spent 34 minutes on one of these so far, which you would never do, right? I'm just going one step at a time slowly for today. What else? What else? Looks like we're missing a couple more lines still. A couple more. Mary, what are you thinking?
So from the left endpoint, draw a vertical line, 3 units up.
3 boxes up right here because it's 3 boxes up right here in the diagram. So this height of 3 represents this height of 3. I would agree. Next. Max, go ahead.
And then from that endpoint, from the left endpoint, draw 3 boxes horizontally.
To the right or left?
To the right.
Okay, 3 boxes horizontally here. And that line right there represents this line right here, which is really 3 boxes here. Agreed. Very good. Are we done, Stefan?
No,
Why not?
because we saw the green box on the top.
Yeah, take a look. Stefan's like, hey, what about this box up here? We forgot about it, right? We completely ignored it. So, what do you think, Stefan?
So, from the top right of the drawing right there, draw 2 boxes upward in the vertical direction.
Good. Representing right here. This height right there. So let's go 2 boxes up. I'm going to highlight that in yellow now in my diagram. There it is. Yes, Carlos.
Starting from the top right line you just drew, you make a horizontal line going 2 units then left.
2 only?
3.
3.
3 units.
I agree. 3 units to the left, all the way to here. Okay, because this is 15, which means that this here is 15 as well. So I agree, 3 units to the left. And the last step, Mark, what's the last step here? From where we left off, right there, right?
Draw a vertical line going 2 boxes down.
Very good. 2 boxes down, vertical line. Good explanation. And there it is. Okay, and this is our entire diagram. And everything is so perfectly lined up. And if you don't see it, take a look. I'll point. Ready? So, we've got this right here in the front. Well, that's lined up with this right here. I'm sorry, from the side, lined up right this here from the front. That's this edge lined up with this edge because they are on the same, what's the word? These two edges are on the same what? Plane. They make up this rectangle. They're on the same plane. The top on the side, like the top edge, I should say, on the side view, corresponds to the top edge on the front view. The bottom with the bottom. The left of the top, the left of the side. The right of the top, the right of the side, etc., etc. Okay, if you want to, if it helps you, you can obviously use dotted lines all over the place to help. Notice all these dotted lines corresponding to each other. Okay, the dotted lines do not represent actual edges. They're just to line things up. Any questions on this technique, on this idea right now? We spent 40 minutes on one example.